UsualSuspect6.com.
Brought to you by Usual Suspects.
It's the Find a Boxer game, and we looking for the big fish. Purchase your box for a chance of winning $240. Here's how. 1 out of 48 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $, usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address, and your box number will be sent to you ASAP.
UsualSuspect6.com.
This time, each box will cost $10. That's right, I said $10. Remaining proceeds will go to the LDBC meet and greet, August 9th and 10th.
It's a Usual Suspecting. Brought to you by Usual Suspect 6.
UsualSuspect6.com. UsualSuspect6.com.
It's a Usual Suspecting.
It's a usual suspect.
In Concord, Mitchell, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen,
Come and try it soon. Only at Pizza Hut, and only for a limited time.
Money, Powell, the bull. Right hand underneath, dancing around.
You can only die once. Usual suspect.
What's going on? What's going on? We back. We're back.
Yeah. We back. There's another good one coming up.
What's up with you, man? We got another good one, man. Welcome back. This is Tales from the B-Side, episode number 10. You know what I'm saying? And we got somebody in the house, man, bro. We got somebody in the house. You know what I'm saying? It's like a homeboy, but you know what I'm saying? We don't talk to each other like that, but when we talk to each other, you know what I'm saying? It's like we bounce back like cooked crack, man. You know what I'm saying? This you know what I'm saying? Good guy. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's that told a friend, everybody that's gonna catch us on the rebound. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's checking us out from Thomas channel, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? How was your weekend, Thomas?
It was pretty busy, man. I was at both fights, and I was covering the women's fights all week. And then, the Friday night at the Garden, it was pretty, the atmosphere was great. Kind of underwhelming, the main event. And even the co-main event, a little underwhelming, but it was good to see Alicia come back. I'll probably talk a little bit about that later on in another, on my live. But, Alicia did okay. I thought the scorecards a little wide. But overall, the card was good. The women showed out, and then yesterday I thought it was a really good card. It was action up and down. Everybody's talking about Berlanga getting knocked out, so I was there live. But it was a good atmosphere. The atmosphere over there was great as well. Okay. So been a busy weekend of boxing for me. Live at the fights.
Well, shit, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? The only way to damn wrap up the weekend, man, is damn come over and catch the Tales from the B-Side. So you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, you know what I'm saying? My guy, you know what I'm saying, when I first met him, I thought they was telling me his nickname. And they was like, nah, that's his name. You know what I'm saying? Cadillac Red, you know what I'm saying? My boy introduced me to him, and he was like, nah, that's his name. I was like, nah, what's his real name? I said, I know a lot of people play around, you know what I'm saying? But this guy's an animal. You know what I'm saying? In the ring, I've watched him, you know what I'm saying, on every level, you know what I'm saying? Besides amateur, I haven't seen him that far back, but I've seen him in person, you know what I'm saying, on different levels. So I've watched this guy, and I'm looking to see more. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully more under the lights. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, you know what I'm saying, I want to bring, you know what I'm saying, my boy, you know what I'm saying, our boy, you know what I'm saying, a friend of the family, you know what I'm saying, my boy, Money Powell the fourth. What's up with you, Sam?
The great Monty Powell. That's how they
great,
right? The great Monty Powell. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, the great.
What's good with you?
Man, shoot, everything's good, man. I've been blessed, working, waiting for my moment, but everything's been great.
I see you've been working. What's that under that eye, man? I see you been working.
Yeah, nah, me and my shout out to my boy Emmanuel Lean, man. We was getting some dog round, and he got a big fight coming up against Damon Nicholson. I know he gonna go out there.
Yeah.
And me and Manny, we always give each other great work. Yeah.
And you know something crazy there, Money?
Yeah.
Emmanuel Lean gonna be on here next week.
Oh, for real? See there?
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? That's the homie, man. I knew his pops. I met his pops before I even knew who he was.
Yeah, real good, man. Like, go way back. He was the one who really helped me get sharp for those fights I had a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Manny was really helping me just step up the levels and everything. Like, a little bit the latter part of last year, and we worked again yesterday or the day before that. But it was great work, man. Me and Manny, we really put this all way.
That's what's up, man. I be seeing Manny around town because we both right here in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So like when I see him around town. I bump into him at the gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and then I've sent kids to his father's gym.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I've told other people this, but his last fight that he had back was in October or November. I was out there with him for about 3 weeks. He had part of like that, but with the best a part of his father, his brother Champ, Moshe, they all had a great time. Sometimes you go to like you interact with the guy, I had a great time. I did that time.
Hey, Thomas, let me ask you something. Is it me or is it, you know what I'm saying?
I thought it was me at first, but I guess it's breaking up for a little. It was breaking up a little bit from my end.
It's breaking up on his end?
Yeah, I think it's on his end because it was me in the beginning, but I think it's fixed now. So I mean, if the actual chat, did it come out clear or did it break up a little bit?
What are y'all hearing? Can y'all hear him clear? Can y'all hear us clear? Because if I got to do something, we can do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do something new.
All right, D-Man says it's on his end.
Yeah, they're saying it's you. You know what I'm saying? You fading in and out because I'm hearing the story, but then I'm hearing pieces fall in and fall out.
Yeah, it's like a pause. Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah. Now it's good.
Well, maybe where I had the phone positioned there, but Emmanuel Lean, man, he's great people. Like being around him and his family, his team, they all great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then they got the up and comer, you know what I'm saying? The young heavyweight that's there that USA boxing has been pushing, little Najee.
Oh yeah, Najee, man, shout out to him too. I think his tournament overseas right now, but Najee can fight, man. Been winning the national, so he next up.
Yeah, next up, man. He's next up. But, you know what I'm saying? We brought you into them, you know what I'm saying, talk about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, he's breaking up too. Nah, so just give KG a minute to come back. I think it's just, I don't know what it is today. I don't know if it's the heat or what. I mean, we're two different areas, but tell us a little bit. I mean, before we get into it, I guess until KG come back, tell me. I don't know you more for your professional career. I had to do some research, but I know you from Team Combat League. Can you tell us a little bit about Team Combat League and how that helps you, put your name out there?
Team Combat League, it's a different platform than your traditional boxing because, like the name states, it's team. So basically, it's only one round. I'll get in and fight, and then whoever is up behind me, they get in and fight. And really what they try to do is like pick the best fighters from whichever state you're representing and fight against the other state. There's a lot of guys in it, and Austin Trout, he was in it the first season. We've had former world champions fight in it, and it really just helps you stay busy. You know what I mean? And, although around at least doing that fighting mindset, because sometimes like when guys not doing nothing at all, they can start kind of getting like complacent, you know what I mean? Like just be real with you, life start getting to them. So even though it's one round, to keep you in that mindset of like I gotta stay. And plus, since it's only one round, you really do gotta be on your P's and Q's because everybody dangerous. It's only one round, so you can't sleep on anybody.
Yeah, and that's what a friend of mine told me the same thing when I talked to him. I have a friend out here that fought with Team New York, and Pistol P. Dobson. I don't know if you know who that is. Yeah, and he said it's the same thing. The only thing is that it gives you work and it gives you but you get paid for it. So which is good. So okay.
Where y'all at with that where y'all at with TCL? Because I had TCL questions, you know what I'm saying?
So I was telling him basically I had to do some research. I didn't really know much of him per se, but I did know him of the Team Combat League. So I just told him to tell us his experience of how that works for him until you got back. That's all it was. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, how does that actually work? You know what I'm saying? When y'all team up, like how many rounds are you actually fighting? And if you stop your guy, do you continue fighting against another opponent in your upcoming round? Or
it's 24 rounds, but typically they'll have like this season 3 is a little different than season 2 because before it was like 3-man per weight class. They had like a first string, second string, third string type thing. But now it's just 1 man per weight class besides heavyweight, welterweight, and like 135. But anyway, typically I fight 2 rounds. It may not be, it's not back to back, but I'll fight around my team. They'll do their thing, and then I come back when whatever rounds assigned to me. But if you knock your guy out, then you're done for the night, unless you were already scheduled to fight 2 different guys. So if you knock one out, then you have to fight the other one later. But that's basically how it works. And my team, the Atlanta Attack, we're in the playoffs now, so we made it through the regular season. Started off a little bit rough. We was 0-3, came back on a 4-fight win streak, and now this upcoming week we got to fight against Houston on the 18th. I mean, not Houston. I'm sorry. We're fighting Phoenix.
Can you explain? I just want to know because I've seen. I don't know if KG you've seen it, but I've seen the crazy knockout you had in there.
Oh yeah,
but that was the money round. So what's the difference between your regular round you had with that fight? I think it was against Boston, and then the money round.
Yeah, what's the money?
Yeah, the regular. Okay, first they have the launch rounds, then the middle rounds, and the money rounds. Really, the launch rounds kind of get stuff started, but I'll just be real with you. At the end of the day, it's kind of still the same. The name's just different on it. But the money rounds really just count more because typically a lot of times the scores are kind of even going into like the money round, going from one to the middle. Unless a team gets blown out, it's typically within striking range. Another team can come back. But when those money rounds hit, it really counts because there is no like rounds after that money round. So you got to make those rounds count. But yeah, with Boston, we actually were losing that fight. Boston's a good team. They got a lot of fighters. They got people like Rashidi Ellis out there doing their thing. But we were down. And then my boy Devin Young, he got a big knockout. And then Pop, he dropped somebody, Javon. And so I came back for that second part against Hogan. And then I got a big knockout. All glory to God for that too, man. That was a good moment for me.
Yeah, that was a sick knockout. That was a highlight. A highlight knockout too.
But look, hey Thomas, I've seen that at work before. Because I've seen this guy on the mitts before, like watching him on person. You know what I'm saying? Person in the back, the same damn motion. You know what I'm saying? All he did was roll, bah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But these type of fights, you know what I'm saying, with TCL, it kind of puts like the thought of A side and B side to bed because everybody has to show up ready with their foot ready to be on the pedal for one round to show up. You're stealing points. You got to get a point. You're fighting. You know what I'm saying?
I'm my bad.
No. I was just saying. So you know what I'm saying? You getting in there. I understand you fought amateur before, and you got to fight at a certain pace. You fought 4 rounds, you fought 6 rounds, you fought 8 rounds, 10 rounds. You get what I'm saying? But now you got to be pressed for 1 round.
Yeah, man. It's that's kind of like the beautiful part about Team Combat League is that you can really have a world champion lose to a guy coming straight out the amateurs in this because it's only 1 round. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a long time since I was in. So I'm like a seasoned pro, you know what I'm saying? Even though I haven't been able to get all the fights that I feel I should have been getting, I've still been training like a professional. So typically, you know, my system, my motor really start getting going after like 3, 4, start building into the fight. Because usually I use like rounds 1 and 2 to kind of fill them out, see what he's working with, this and the third. But in this, like you said, you got to get your motor going. But at the same time, you got to be careful because you get going too fast. Like I said, this man's not wore down at all. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you filling him out. You can get caught. So that's why, you know, it's the beautiful thing about Team Combat League. I mean, it's high action, it's high stakes because it's quick, and really anybody can get it in the Team Combat League. Like nobody's ever really safe. I'm just be honest with you. You gotta box smart.
Man, what you got, Thomas?
No, I mean, so other than that, tell me a little bit about your career and where it's at. I saw you haven't had a professional fight, I think in over a year, I think it is.
Yeah.
So is there something going on? Are you signed to anyone?
Yeah, just, you know, the business aspects of what goes on. You know, some things just out of my control. I'm just be completely honest with you. But soon, I'll just put it to you like that. Everything will be going back, you know, back on track and everything. But the main thing is I've still just been staying down because, like I stated a little bit earlier, the Team Combat Leagues helps guys stay in that mindset of fighting. Because like when you're not being active, sometimes life can start catching up to you. You know, some people have children, and, you know, you got to take care of the family. Now you're starting to work a job more. Now you haven't been trained. You know, all these things, like life little by little can start catching up to you. So but you know, all glory to God, I've been staying down. I've been staying hungry. I've stayed working, even though I'm not necessarily out there right now. I'm still putting money in the bank by going to the gym faithfully.
Yep.
And it's, go ahead.
No,
Then we're talking. Say, go ahead. Do you? Go ahead. My fault.
No, and I seen you. You might have not taken me and Cadillac Red's advice, but I've seen you take a different fold. You know what I'm saying, with the charisma side of things. You know what I'm saying, like even in the ring, I see you moving around, shuffling your feet. You know what I'm saying, doing. You know what I'm saying, shaking. You know what I'm saying, you moving around a little bit. You're having fun with it, and then outside of the ring. I see you doing your thing with the little skits, you and wifey out doing the, you know what I'm saying, all over town and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you say Pizza Hut. But I just seen a recent skit and you had Papa John's.
That was Pizza Hut.
You saw that one Papa John's day. I thought I saw white and green boxing that.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna be switching sides, man. I'm Pizza Hut.
Okay.
Ain't nobody out Pizza in the hood.
I'm just checking, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, and I say that because we're in the social media area, you know what I'm saying, and you're taking that approach, you know what I'm saying, to be seen there, you know what I'm saying, to be, you know what I'm saying, I guess, you know what I'm saying, to show the, you know what I'm saying, the more personable side of you. And are you saying that's still not like speeding up the business side, like, because you're showing yourself in a more friendly light to the people, you know what I'm saying, you're letting yourself be seen? So, like, what's the hold up now? Because I got a follow-up question right behind that, because it's something that you said in the previous interview that I had with you.
You saying what's the hold up? Like
I said, what do you feel the hold up may be with that now? Because like I said, now you're putting yourself out in the eyes. I've seen your followers go up. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So like, what's the hold up now? You're a guy that works. You want to fight.
Yeah.
You got aspirations to win. You got the traditional I want legacy. You see what I'm saying?
There's some stuff I want to say. I gotta I have to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's coming in the near future. But it's some stuff I just can't really speak on just yet. But I'm just putting it to you like this. Like some things, it's just been out of my hands. Like you gotta, I've been doing my part. Some things been out of my hands. Like I would talk about it if I could, but I'm just trying to move smart right now. You know what I mean? In terms of like what I'm saying and everything like that. But I'm doing my part, and when my moment comes, you know. Don't worry about it. But like you said, I've been doing, you know, the putting myself out there more in different ways. And shout out to, you know, my wife, because she really was the one who was pushing me to start, you know, trying just different approaches and stuff like that. Because it's something I just never really did. You know, my social media, I kind of just post here and there. Nobody would see me for a little bit. I might post again, but I was always working. But you know, like how you said, it's important to stay in front of people, show them different aspects of you. You can start pulling in different type of fan bases like that. So I've just been I've been having fun with what I do too now. So I'm just being me.
Okay. Because look, hey Thomas, I'm gonna let you shoot it from here after this. And the reason, like I was saying it, because last time I had you on,
Yeah.
we were talking and you were saying something as far as like, you know what I'm saying, the big promotional companies.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like they're not giving the South, you know what I'm saying, a real shot. You know what I'm
That's
saying? You separated Florida from, you know what I'm saying, from the actual South. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? He's like, yeah. So that right there is why I got you here today too. You get what I'm saying? Because
It's real
that
though.
area right there, that whole area right there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, breed dogs,
Yeah, we
breed
got
fighters, breed warriors. But
look
y'all not
for a
getting
lot
that shape.
for a lot of people, they just seeing Brian Norman, but Brian Norman's been doing that. He's been taking people out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I remember when Brian was like 14, 15. Like when I first saw B, I was 13, so B he might have been 10. And then I didn't see him for a little bit. Then I remember he came back. At least I saw him come back at a Paul Murphy tournament, man. He was running through things like 14. So he's been knocking people out. I remember he was knocking grown men out, man, when he was a teenager. But people,
Mhm.
a lot of times, people just they see things on a surface level. They don't ever really think any deeper. Like it's so many fighters out here that are dogs, especially down south. But because people will be like, if I don't see him, he must not exist, or if I've never seen him, he's a nobody. Which is,
Mhm.
it's just a little bit, in my personal opinion, is ignorant because you only gonna see what's in front of you, put in front of you. But it's plenty of guys out here working, man. I mean, we got a lot of talent down south. They just don't have that platform. Like I remember when I first turned pro, the promoter straight up told me, "We're not checking Alabama. We're not checking Georgia. We're not checking Mississippi. No fighters." You know what I mean? And that's why I said I exclude Florida because Florida has a lot of the Cubans. They kind of coming straight into Florida, and it's just Florida's just different. Just altogether, it's its own place. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So let me ask you then. I had another question before that, but I'm going to try to put them together. So basically, what do you think the problem is with that? Do you think it's misrepresentation? Do you just think they're not looking at what are these big promotion companies you think they're looking at? Are they looking at the Golden Gloves, for the particular states, cities, or whatever? Or could it be misrepresentations of the managers down there? They're not getting you guys the fights that you should be getting. And then my other question that I was going to originally ask was
Yeah.
how, and you seem like a very positive person, and you remind me of a fighter I know that's he's been looking. He hasn't fought in over a year, and he's about to get a fight in a couple of weeks. And his situation is the big promotions have seen him, and they made him empty promises, but they haven't signed him. But
Yeah.
he always remains positive, and you seem very positive. So my second question is how important it is to remain positive and just keep it going, so to keep going with your career, to keep training, to keep working out in hopes that you finally get that fight.
Well, to answer the first question, I think the biggest problem is that they look at down south more so as football. And the biggest thing when it comes to promoters, what's going to talk to them the most is not even about how good you can fight. It's about how much money you can make. Can you put butts in seats?
Mm-hmm.
They a lot of times kind of just feel like down south, uh, they don't take boxing like that. But down south, the people do. But it's just, they really looking to make money when they put on those shows. And I understand it's a business, so they taking a gamble. But it's a lot of fighters down here, but they just feel like they've kind of established their footmarks like in other places. Obviously like Vegas, New York, Atlantic City, New Jersey, places like that. They know for sure we bring some people in. Down south is kind of like, we really don't know. But there's plenty of guys down here. God willing, I'll be able to headline one day and make a difference. And to touch on the second question, staying positive for me comes from number one, it comes from God, man. And that's another big shout out to my wife too, because it was a point in time I was, in a dark place. I was sad, I was depressed, not getting advice, and especially something you've been wanting to do since you were a child. It hurts. You know what I mean? But me really just spending time with the Lord, and it's like I know some people just be hearing that, but like I've truly had intimate moments with God. He brought me out of some deep holes, man. And even right now, I cling to him for everything, positive, negative. I go to him for everything. And you know, just staying focused. Like that's what you love. If God placed that on your heart, you want to make sure that you're not going to allow for the enemy, whether it's people, whether it's demonic spirits, anything like that, to whisper in your mind and plant these seeds that are going to make you give up on yourself and give up hope. You know what I mean? Because at least me just speaking on myself, I know that one day when I get to where I want to be, I'll be able to make a positive change. You know, and that's one of my main motivations for me to still pushing and being positive, because I know it's like one thing to kind of think, but I know once I get to that point, I'll be able to do some good stuff that, you know, transcends boxing. It's not even about trying to be popular or nothing like that. As long as I can just take care of, you know, my family, get to do what I love, and I get to help other people out, that's a great career for me.
That's amazing right there. That's the great positive way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? As far as the South, and like you said, what everybody's looking at,
Yeah.
I would think, you know what I'm saying, they would kind of send scouts y'all direction. You know what I'm saying? More so now because we got guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh that say he doesn't want Tom and Jerry boxing.
Yeah.
He wants to make smaller rings. You get what I'm saying? So do you really want it that way? Or are you just saying it because it sounds good? Because like you said, they didn't know about Brian Norman Jr. at first. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people are now saying he ain't fought nobody. How did he get to this position where he is now? And blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been watching him, you know what I'm saying, from the ground up, then you would already know this. Like you said, you seen him as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it always is, though. People, they first see something like, where this guy pop up? They've been doing that. The people that have been around this person, like even I remember seeing Boots in the amateurs, and I remember what he was doing. He was looking phenomenal. I was like, wow, you know. But then when people saw it, it was like, man, who in the world is this? You know what I'm saying? It's like people are already doing their thing, but I'm digressing a bit. I think guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh and stuff like that, they got so many people from all over the world. You know what I mean? Like hitting him up. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure he has people that's like that he trusts in, that more so just tell him, hey, put him on the card. Or you know what? Also at the same time, it come down to just flat out relationships. Like if he got a lot of love for you, like he does for Hamza, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's Turkey Al-Sheikh. He don't try to hide it. I mean, I saw him put out a tweet where he straight up said, "I got plans for Shakur and Hamza." You know what I mean? So it comes down to like if he likes you, which you know I don't take nothing personal. You know that's his money. He can do what he wants to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just glad that like people like Brian Norman Jr. are up. Hopefully, one day they'll have something down here for him. Because Brian a good guy too. Like that's another thing. Like Brian the type of guy where you can him and his dad. Like man, I broke down a couple years ago here in Atlanta back in. Picked my car and they showed me number love. Brian, like I said, his whole family are good people. They not stuck up, nothing like that. They down to earth, and he can fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've interviewed and I spoke with Norman Sr. a few times, and I met them in person, and they're very humble and you know they're good people. That they show great respect. Nice guys. Absolutely nice guys, and this is no cap. I mean, you know, people that know me, and I've been around a lot of fighters and managers and stuff. You know, I like everybody, but they were different. They were very, very, you know, genuine. You know what I'm saying? So definitely good people. No fakeness around them at all. Yeah. So that's why what happened the other day was messed up. I didn't like it, and you know, and it's bad for boxing. But yet, you know, people are going to pick and choose just because of who they like, but they're not going to tell the truth as to what happened and what's right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it. But, you know, when I have you on here and you're speaking about Brian Norman, you know, and I met him and other people, it's like, you know, how can you say like these guys are bad guys at all? Like, you know.
So. Brian Norman, I'm telling you, Brian is one of the guys. I believe Brian, you know, he can have millions of dollars, Brian. Brian's the type of guy, man, you can be talking to him out in public at a Walmart or something. He'll be chopping up with you, joking with you like nothing. You know, he's not stuck up. Like I said, all the times I've interacted with myself, seeing how he interacts with other people, Brian a really good-hearted person. You know what I mean? His dad is great people, too. And, of course, it's boxing, so, you know, he's going to talk. But, hey, his son doing what he has to do. And they're not just doing that because they're on TV. Like, I've seen them do that in the gym and stuff, too. That's just, you know, how they are, how they interact, and their chemistry works out, you know, beautifully. I mean, he's a world champion now. You know what I mean? And I pray that he, like I said, Brian, he deserves to be where he's at. He's a good person, man, and I'm glad God bless him. Looked out for him.
No, yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of his, and
Yeah.
not that I don't like Devin Haney. I like him. I just don't like the shenanigans behind it sometimes, like what happened on Thursday. But I definitely like Ryan Norman. He's with ESP. He's with Top Rank. I think they've done a great job. But it's like you were saying earlier, like with the way, you know, they treat the people from the South and the fighters from the South in comparison to New York and Philly and the big places.
Yeah.
It's like narratives being blown. And Top Rank does that a lot too. I know personally because I've seen some people get benefit from it, and then I've seen people, you know, get shitted on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's one of the things about being with like the big promotions. It's something that a lot of fighters like. They want to be signed to the big promoters, which I understand, because you got a big platform. But you got to think of it too. It's almost like when you're a football player and you sign to a D1 school. You know, those if you like are not performing to a certain type of place or nothing like that, man, you can get pushed to that back of that line quick, or get your contract cut quick, because they got a bunch of guys that want that spot. And not just that, you can fight, but like I said, if you're not your fanfare isn't good, they don't think you really charismatic, you're not really selling tickets and stuff like that, you can be still signed to them and not really get moved like that. But if you could be signed to maybe like a more mid-level promotion, and you can be the star of that promotion, and then you can build you, move you the right way, you can say so on what goes on, this, that, and third. But even though you sign to a big promotion, doesn't mean you're gonna have much say so on what happens in your career. And that's what happens to a lot of fighters, man. Like, they tell us that we're the boss because we're the ones fighting, but a lot of times, man, it's like we the dogs get brought to the dog fight, and you know, it is what it is. Like, you really got no say so. It's either it's gonna be this or it's not gonna be that. You know what I mean? So it's you got to just be smart about how you're moving and who you're dealing with, and not always get fooled by the glitz and the glamour of the big promotion companies, because you can be deceiving sometimes.
So you're saying we come into this boxers box, managers manage, promoters promote, and the managers and promoters are supposed to be working for the fighters, but in actuality, but
Man, look, you gotta remember, man. Listen, like, I don't take it personal because I'm a fighter and they doing their job, but we the ones in the ring, man, trying to break each other's, you know what I'm saying, body apart, and they chilling you know, with a drink in their hand. They getting their money either way, you know what I mean? So they getting to just watch, and we gotta be the ones in the ring taking the damage. But I mean, if you think about it, a lot of times they got more money than we got. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you the fighters on the come up. So until you get to that point to where you really can like be your own boss, in some form or fashion, you are going to be at the mercy of whoever you're dealing with, unless you got like more money and stuff than them. And even if you got a lot of money, it comes down to a point to where they might just not do it because they don't like you. Money can only take you so far in this too. It's like relationships gotta be good to let you in certain rooms.
So would you say? I know it's an anomaly, but the Devin Haney and the Team Haney, Devin DHP, that approach, betting on yourself and saying, I'll work with other promotional companies, but I'm my own promotional entity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, his dad did move in the right way because he had a lot more freedom in his, you know, how he was being brought up and how he was being moved. And because his dad basically was the one, you know, maneuvering stuff for him, you also can trust him. I would hope you can trust your father, you know what I mean? To be able to be making the right type of matches for you, putting you on the right platforms, all these things. And it got him to where he needed to be, you know, because he had that power. But you got some guys, like, believe it or not, man, you can have guys that can, like, really, really fight. But they put in like these dog fights early, or they could be matched against another guy that can really fight, and then it's like, it's not, they don't look as exciting. But you got to remember, like, typically when you find better opposition, it's gonna be harder to look better against better guys because they making less mistakes. And if you make a mistake, you could pay. You know, so they don't always people don't take that into consideration. Like you can have a guy line him up with guys he can blow out, and then you can have another guy he's been fighting quality opposition, but maybe he's not looking necessarily like a star. But they'll be like, especially the fans, they'll be like, man, that guy, everybody else, he got to be better. But you're not really looking at these guys' resumes, like who they fight. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff to take into consideration right there. But at the end of the day, at the same time too, though, champions are built. You know, you got to move guys the right way. You can't be fighting dog after dog after dog. It's kind of realistic. I'm just being real with you.
Yeah. But in Devin Haney's case, they were a little bit. They had the benefit of Bill Haney. I mean, they had money because in cases like that, you have to pay to get those fights too. You know, when you're not pro. So that's why, you know, with the money that they had, that's what helped. Also, a lot of fighters don't have that, and they can't build their fighters up the way that Bill did with Devin. You know, and that's not taking nothing away from Devin, you know, because he proved himself when he got the opportunities, right? But to come up, right, they had to pay. They had to pay to get matched or pay for the fights or pay whoever's the promotional company. You know, he went down to Mexico, took some fights. They had to put in money to do that, right? So, I mean, not everybody has the benefit of doing that. That's why it's important to try to find a good manager or maybe, you know, get a good promoter that can, you know, get you the fights, you know, that are necessary for you to build yourself up.
And that's what I said, you know, having somebody you can really trust, because you know, especially when you first turn professional, you want to be getting brought about the right way. You getting the right type of looks, some fights, man. Like you got to take them at the right time too. You got to also know your fighter. Like, and that's the good thing about Devin and his dad. You know, it's his father, so he knows his son. He knows his son's mental.
Yeah,
you know, maybe my son's in this. I heard Emmanuel Stewart straight up say about Thomas Hearns, he didn't want Thomas Hearns really find guys that pressed forward and were really tough and could take a good shot. But that's just being realistic because he knows his fighter. So you got to know, like, what your guy can do, what he can't do, what styles make him look good, what styles make him look bad. This is where matchmaking comes in. It's a lot of stuff people don't see that goes on behind the scenes that turns this guy into a superstar. Because like I said, you can be a great fighter and still not be a superstar. But it's that matchmaking that really can help you transcend into a superstar. And also, you know, personality and stuff like that goes into it. But matchmaking is important.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head with that right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the guys don't that are not, you know what I'm saying, privileged to have that support system. Like I said, they got to go through real obstacles. It's almost like you remember that meme that they had? They had the white guy in the suit on the track, and then they had the black guy, and they had the track, and white guy he had a straight stretch, and then black guy had obstacles. Yeah, so
that's what it's like.
But at the end, it's how much damn dog do you have into you, you know what I'm saying, to get to that finish line. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And I will say, if you do have to take the harder route, like, you know, most of us do. When you do get to that point, you kind of do have a different type of mentality because, like, you know, I'm supposed to be here. You know what I mean? I really had to fight my way to get to this point. And more than likely, you didn't have to fight your way to quality opposition. So your mentality is probably going to be a little bit different because you've already been fighting good guys. So what's to it to fight another good fighter? You know, it's like another kid in the office.
Okay. I got one other question I want to ask. Are you aware of the TKO League that I believe is going to start next year? Are you aware of it? And have you heard of maybe a possibility of you entering into that?
Yeah, I've heard about it through a couple of the guys I know. I mean, shoot, I don't necessarily have a route to get into it, but it's something I definitely like. If it was to me, something I would definitely like look into and see what it's really all about. But it seems interesting. It does seem interesting.
Yeah, from what I've know of it and what I've been researching on it, and based on, I know a fighter that said that he signed to it, but it's going to wait till 2026. You know, they did put out like these salaries that they're going to put out. Well, not salaries, the what they're going to pay out for the fights. Yeah, it seems interesting. I just want to know. I'm just trying to figure out. I asked you this because, you know, I think that would be beneficial for you and for other fighters that are looking for fights to keep them busy. But the pay grade just seems a little bit. It seems good, but like if you guys move up, like I don't know if people will be stuck in that contract. But I think as far as exposure, I think that's the main thing. So I just wanted to see if you knew anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it. I know some guys. They've also said the same thing. You know, they're not really gonna start making like announcements until maybe like 2026 and stuff. But it seems interesting. And like I said, like if I had an opportunity that was presented to me to possibly jump into that, I would definitely, look into it and try to. If it works, hey, I love to be a part of it. But something new, something different, and like how you touched on the salaries, that's different as well than typical boxing. But it could really be a good thing when actually progressing.
Yeah.
Man, I love the fact that, and this is no shade to, the sport that I'm about to talk about or whatever, but money is staying boxing. You know what I'm saying? Money is staying boxing. He's trying to, he's taking different avenues. And like I said, yeah, I kind of frown when I see a guy that I may know to say, you know what, I'm gonna go over to bare knuckle. Like I said, I'm not knocking bare knuckle. I like to watch it. It's entertaining, but I like to keep boxers boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to keep y'all boxing. Everybody can't go over and do what Austin Trout did.
Yeah,
you know
I got some people I know that went the bare knuckle route. Typically, man, that's just to get another check. I'm not jumping into that. Hey, y'all can have that. Salute to you, the bare knuckle fighters, man. But I'm gonna stay on over here, bro. I'm good on that. Yeah.
No, but you're a fighter's fighter, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you every time I've talked to you, you know what I'm saying, you work. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and recently, like I said, you've gotten married, you know what I'm saying? You're starting the whole family thing, you get what I'm saying? So now you're gonna gotta cut that in, but at the same time, you're still working. So you've hit a few staples as to what this show is about, you know what I'm saying? And every show, everybody hits on a strong support system.
Oh yeah, man. That's what
you know what I'm saying. Maintaining positivity, you know what I'm saying? And working. Like I said, you're in the gym universally working to make sure you're ready for that call. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get that call and life changes.
Oh yeah.
Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got thrown into a fight because somebody tested dirty or somebody got injured, somebody fell out of the fight for whatever reason. Money Power, can you be ready in 11 days? Man, I've been ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing, like you said, staying ready, especially as life starts progressing, as life starts going on for you. Staying ready includes like making sure your stuff outside of boxing is good too. So like that support system that you touched on, when you have people around you that can help you stay focused, because having a good support system makes it easier to keep pressing, keep pushing. Like my wife, man, she's really, we've been together since I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. So a long time, she's been having my back, all these things, push me, she makes my meals for me before I go to the gym, make sure I'm straight, breathing life into me. Like my father, he always encouraging me. Since the amateur, my dad, all that film he had, that's the reason why I got signed in the first place. Like I said, they're funny checking. But now my dad always supporting me, pushing me. My mother as well, always showing me nothing but love, and my coach. And that's another thing, man. That's why I say, I really gotta give this all glory to God, man, because there's been some times where it's like I don't know how I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? And he's always lined me up in a position to where somebody's there to help me. Because like my homeboy Joe, man, me and him talking about the Lord, and my friend Joe said, he said, how many points you gotta have in your life before you finally say God is real? It's like this stuff don't just keep lining up for you, this, that, and the third. And that's why I just inside and outside of the ring, man, he's my main focus, doing right under him. Because as long as I'm doing right under him, I know everything else will work out. Whether other people like what I'm doing or what I'm not doing, as long as I'm doing right under God, I'm good. I'm solid.
That's like they said, man. Faith without work is dead, man. You actually putting the work in. That's why you're able to then keep walking into your faith, man.
Exactly.
Because you're putting the work in.
Yes, yeah, man.
You ain't just sitting back on your knees. Like I say, I ain't knocking nobody that pray, but you got to get up off your knees and go put some work in for God to give you that nudge.
It's the same thing even when it comes to like your relationship with the Lord. You got to put your work in. Like every single night, me and my wife read. We don't just read the Bible. We also break down the scriptures, talk about what we read. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? And then I talk to God. Man, I'm telling you, oh man, it's some crazy stuff. But the Lord, I just tell you, man, the Lord is good. He sends me warnings. He gives me stuff ahead of time. That fight with Hogan, as a matter of fact, the reason why I took off running is because I had a conversation with God when I got to that building. I'm saying, like, how you and I are talking, I know God talks to everybody different, but he told me before that already. He said, "Listen, you're gonna win by knockout." I got to the place, I was like, "God, you said I'm gonna win by knockout." I asked him again. I was like, "You said I'm gonna win by knockout?" He said, "I already told you. Stop asking." You know what I'm saying? Stop. I'm for real. I'm telling you, I be having conversations with the Lord. He's very real, man. So check this out. Like after the first round with Hogan, I got out the ring. I was like, "Lord, I thought you said I was gonna knock him out." And then I remember what my wife had told me. She said, "You gotta remember, sometimes the Lord will test you to test your faith." Just like with Peter, when Peter was walking on the water with the Lord, when that storm came, Peter got distracted and he fell in. But while he was focused on God, his faith was strong. He was still on it. But anyway, I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is my test. I said, all right then, Lord. I'm telling you, when I got back in there, even the commentary, he said, bro, I could literally feel the Lord energized. My whole presence changed. Because when I came out, I think with Raul Marquez, he said, Powell's energy is different. He said, money.
Yeah, you look different. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not making it up. When I got back in, the Lord powered me up. And when I dropped him, boom, like before he even hit the ground, I already took off running. I was turned up because I was like, Lord, you said this would happen. You said it would happen. I'm telling you. So, you know, I'm telling you, man, I got so many crazy stories involving the Lord, but he be showing up and he be showing out for me, man. So I'm going to be, you know, always focused on him to the end of my life and always, you know, trying to push other people towards the way to go, man. The way to go. I'm telling you.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. Wow, that's what's up.
You got anything, Thomas? Because you know what I'm saying, man. Because that's a closing note right there.
That was a closing note. I did have one last question because I was just intrigued by something. So, like, I know you said you never really been to B-side, but I noticed that you did fight a few times overseas. Yeah. So I just wanted to see if you had any stories or any, you know, notice any differences like fighting. I think you fought in France.
Yeah, I fought in Paris, France, and I fought in London. I fought the O2 on David Hayes on the card when he fought Tony Bellew.
Okay.
Yeah, but fighting overseas, man, it's definitely different. At least when I fought in Paris, I remember, man, it was like the arena didn't seem that big, but when I was in the back, like, you know, when somebody gets knocked out when you're in the back because the crowd start going crazy. Yeah. Voices out there. So I remember when I walked out, this was only my second pro fight. Man, they was treating everybody like the main event, man. They had smoke, all these other, like, it wasn't like just
pyrotechnics and all kinds of crazy.
It was beautiful, man. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So they treated me great over there, televised and everything. And then when I fought in London, one thing I do like about being over there in England, those fans really show up and show out, you know, and it's something, man, that kind of like, it be leaving a dirty taste in my mouth when I see like how American fans treat their American champions when they fight somebody from another country, because it's like, man, you see these guys come from England, they'll fly from Korea, whoever, they'll fly from Japan to support their man, but it's like, you can have a champion right here and people won't stand behind, they'll root against him. I hope he get knocked out. I think he's gonna lose. They may think their man gonna lose, but they're gonna be like, hey, I'm supporting him regardless. You know what I mean? You're not gonna hear them say, I think my man's gonna lose, at least as a whole. You know what I mean? So just seeing how they support their people was amazing. And plus, man, that was a giant arena. Like that O2 was packed out. So, you know, it was deep. Wow. It was fun too, man. Everybody treats you good and stuff like that. And I enjoyed it. It was a good experience. So hopefully one day I might do it again.
Did you get caught in a trance and start singing Sweet Caroline?
Nah. Hey, they was fighting out there in the crowd though, man. Hey, them English boys, they get busy out there.
They get busy in the crowd, huh?
They wild, man.
In the crowd, yeah.
In boxing events and soccer events, they wild out.
Oh yeah, man. They start turning, man. They start getting them drinks in them, bro. It's a fight all over the place up in there, man. I'm for real.
I got a confession, KG, since you got jokes. On Friday at the fight, in the Amanda Serrano fight in the Garden, they played Sweet Caroline. Oh, I got caught up. I started singing.
You got caught up singing it?
The whole crowd started singing too. So
yeah,
I fell for it. But yeah.
Hey, hold on. So you said you were at both the fights. So you was I didn't get to see the women fight, but I saw like some of the highlights and stuff from last night with the Shakur and Berlanga and everything like that. It seemed like that was a real good card.
It was exciting card. I think it was a lot of one-sided, but a lot of close decisions too. Like David Morrell, I thought that was a lot. It was a close fight. I thought he actually lost. Yeah, I thought he lost. See, I thought he lost. And then what was the other fight? I was rooting for, I'm Puerto Rican, so I was rooting for Matias, but I thought he lost. I thought Puello won that fight.
Oh, I thought Matias won.
You did?
Because Powell looked like he spent too much time on the ropes.
He did, but he was more effective.
His back is on the ropes too much.
I know, but I thought he was more effective. I thought he threw more effective punches. You know, and then I thought he won the last 2 rounds.
As the fight got deeper and he kept finding his back on the ropes, the way Matias would invite him in. Matias was able to land on the way in, the way he wasn't earlier in the fight. So I'm like, I saw a shift that I'm like, but like I said,
I gotta watch it again.
You seeing it in the house and seeing it on TV, it's two different.
It is, man.
The angle too, because
hey, that in person different than on TV, man.
It is, man.
Yeah, it is. But
I'm
gonna tell you something that I don't like, bro. Like now they got all these things by the turnbuckles, and it's blocking your view, so you can't see the work in the corner. Sometimes you got to look up in the screen. So like when they're fighting in the corner and they got the turnbuckle that you can't see it. So they got the big ring thing, and it WWE, like wrestling. You see the work. You can't see it. That's a little frustrating. In the female fight too, they had it. They had the Netflix sign all over it. So they're doing too much, bro. It's just, but yeah, it is different. Like you can hear the punches. Yeah, you can hear the effects of the punches.
Yeah, it sounds. When I watch the Team Combat League fight back versus when I'm there in person, them punches, the way they sound, like especially when you close by the ring, man, they sound way different. Like the TV, like, you know, kind of muffles, and you might pick something up from the ref. Yeah. But let me tell you, man, when you right there and you hear them shots sound off, man, it sounds different. Sound different.
You know what country then make sure you appreciate the sound? I think Japan has extra mics because you can hear every clap.
Man,
you know what I'm saying over there.
But they're also quiet during the whole fight.
They are sitting quiet.
they don't talk. They don't cheer or nothing until the round is over.
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah.
So did you catch any of the fights?
The only fight that I kind of came and caught more so was like I saw some of Stevenson, but then I saw Berlanga and Hamza, which you know that actually I didn't necessarily expect it to go like that. I'm just being honest with you. I didn't.
I didn't expect it to go that way either. I
didn't call a knockout.
I thought if he lost, he was going to lose by decision because Berlanga. I'm not even getting into it because I was rooting for Berlanga just because I'm rooting for the home team. But
I was rooting for Berlanga.
But he got a big mouth, and you know,
I didn't think Hamza was going to be. Hamza looked strong last night. I'll be honest, he looked
real strong.
Yeah.
He looked skinny as hell, but he was moving Berlanga. Yeah. Like every time he pushed him off of him, I'm like,
Hamza has a real strong stance. You know what I mean? Like the stance, he's not really a finesse type fighter. He kind of, he sets up, he kind of plants his feet some in box. He doesn't really do anything that looks really fancy, but guys that honestly have like really learned to master the basics can be some of the hardest guys to fight because they're not gonna make as many mistakes. At the same time, too, though, when he gets in front of somebody that's slick and they can like really utilize their footwork and stuff, it can give guys like that a problem. Yeah. It can give guys like that problems because they kind of straight up and down. That's not talking down on them at all, but when they straight up and down like that, when they run into guys that kind of got more finesse, it can give them some problems.
That's true too. Like Adamas gave him problems.
Exactly.
Yeah. Adamas stayed in his chest the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he played the mid-range game when he needs to, but he stayed in this. Like he crowded him a little bit that he had to actually make the decision. Berlanga, I said this last night. I said when he took that vest off, I said I think he left something in the vest, and they said, "What you mean?" I said the tough guy. I said because he didn't look tough,
bro.
Like, and I'm not trying to shade him or nothing, but
no, you're not.
The demeanor, I didn't see. He just didn't look tough. You know what I'm saying?
I was there, and that was the one thing, and I haven't seen it on TV yet. His body language, the walk-in, when he got on the apron and he he did not look like he was there. He looked out of it. He did not look himself. I spoke to a coach that used to coach him in the amateurs, Eric Roman, and he said the same thing. He said something was off, and I said, I thought I was bugging. I didn't want to say it to sound like a hater or anything, but I know this might sound, a little crazy, but sometimes this happens to fighters, but they could have rehydrated like badly. Because Edgar be losing weight, man. I'm just be real with you. He be coming down. He a big boy. Because I remember when I was sparring with Sergey Derevyanchenko back in 2020, Edgar, he was already coming down. He kind of comes down from high. I just put it to you like that. Yeah.
Sometimes, you can lose the weight, but it's when you like rehydrating. Like there's never a guarantee you're gonna be feeling 100%. That's why you gotta. Guys nowadays, I put it to you, they cutting way too much weight. You know what I mean? Like you got guys cutting 25, 30, some even 40. I mean, really, today seems normal to cut 20 pounds, but realistically, you shouldn't be cutting that. Like I watched Bob Foster a lot, and Bob was saying straight up, like them guys back then, like my coach now, Coach Musa, he's almost 80, so he's been around in a long time, and he was straight up telling me, if you talk to guys like back in the day, even like my dad's 57. When they were coming up, they were not cutting weight like that. You know what I mean? But now these guys are cutting crazy amounts of weight, and then once you make weight, now you got to rehydrate and hope that you're gonna feel good because your brain loses a lot of fluids.
It does, yeah.
You could have got in that ring, like woke up that morning and be like, I don't feel that strong. Because when I fought out there in Paris, I had a bad rehydration. Like my second time out there, I fought some guy at Braggamar, and when I went to hit the mitts with my coach at the time, Coach Jay, we both looked at each other. I was like, damn, I ain't got that snap. So but you still gotta try to keep that poker face. You know?
Yeah.
That's some people don't talk about. Sometimes they talk about, oh, he had a bad weight cut, but they never talk about he could have had a good weight cut, but the rehydration could have been bad. You know what I mean? Like, just you never really know, man. So he could have just been feeling weak. I'll just be real with you. Or
that's a great question to ask. Do you feel strong? If you can't confidently answer that, man.
Yeah, I mean, you still say yes, man, because you still want to get that money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I understand that.
Of course.
I understand, yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's a bad look for him because of all the stuff that he's been talking and and doing in the press conference and all the showman, the extra stuff.
Yeah, I understand, man. That's just that's kind of just like a pick your poison type thing. If you kind of like act like that, then you got no choice but to win. Like you have literally no choice. But I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back at some point. You know what I mean? Whenever he decides to come back, I mean. He's still 20. I think Edgar, like me and him, like the same age. He might be like 27 or 28. I don't know. He's like
Okay.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I like to see where Hamza go from here, though. That's gonna be interesting. Because I don't know how much longer Canelo really gonna be fighting, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. You know what I'm saying? Hey, money, man. You know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and wrap this one up, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people where they can find you at, how they can find you, and how can we see you with these Team Combat League fights, man? You know what I'm saying? Because earlier in the chat, somebody asked that question. We need to know this information because they've been missing you. We've been missing you, man. You know what I'm saying?
I could like put a lot more content out there, but I really had to type to like be posting.
No, I ain't worried about the content.
Oh, okay.
Content. Yeah, we just miss you, man. That's all.
Nah, well, I appreciate it, man. I miss being out there, but my time coming. You know what I'm saying? Like for now, I'm just putting money in the bank. So when it's time to spend it, I got it to spend. But the great Money Powell, or just type in my full name, Money Powell the Fourth, and on Facebook, you can find me. Facebook doesn't let me use my real name. Sometimes people find my dad because he had to like submit documents because they think it's a fake name. But on Facebook, still Powell, and the Team Combat League fights. You can find the link on YouTube. Type in Team Combat League, and they usually will let you know like when it's coming up, or you could just watch Dr. Fields. But we back in action this upcoming week against Phoenix. It's gonna be us in Phoenix, and then Vegas is fighting. I forgot who Vegas. Oh, they fight Miami. Miami's a good team too, and Vegas got the best record, so it's a good show.
Okay. I don't know how New York did this year.
They got eliminated the other day. I'm gonna be real with you, man. See, the thing about Team Combat League is you really never know who's gonna win, but sometimes it depends how you get matched. Because New York had a hard schedule. Like last year, Atlanta, we got matched hard, man. We came out the gate, we had to fight Philly, and then we had to fight Boston, which is another hard team to fight, and then we had to fight Miami. They got a bunch of Cubans, like they got a bunch of guys that kind of come through there. Good coach too, and then we had to fight LA, and LA was, it was running through. So we was. Depending on how you get matched, it can be deceiving. You got a bad record, but you've been fighting good teams back to back. You know what I mean? Sometimes twice. I think New York had to fight Philly maybe 2 times or Boston twice. So it's a hard match. You know what I mean?
But I think New Jersey has a team too. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, well, I don't think New Jersey got a team. I think it's just
So they probably those fighters probably go to Philly then because I know New Jersey's they got a lot of good fighters just in general.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know my boy Alantez Fox was fighting on one of the teams.
He was with DC, but they weren't a part of it this year. I don't know what happened with that franchise, but they weren't They want DC was another one of them teams, man. They like I don't know, they weren't winning a lot, but they got a lot of talent, man. It's also just about how you like matching your guys up.
Yeah, how you match them up, yeah.
Strategy with that stuff sometimes too.
I got one more question I just thought of now. I don't know if you know about this, but were you aware of the big sparring thing that happened Friday here in New York?
Yeah, I saw it.
Are you what is your opinion on that? And do you know anybody that fought in it? Because I've heard some stories already. If the women's card was not Friday night, I would have been there and watched it. But what's your opinion on that? Because I know the guy that ran it, Eric Kelly. I don't know if you know what Eric Kelly is.
No, I don't know Eric Kelly, but the guy I know on it, I know Scooby. I know Kurt Scooby. We fought on the overtime card out here together. He good people. And my boy Nikita, you know, me and him, we was on Team USA together. We talked from time to time. He's a good guy too. But I think it was pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? How they went about doing that. I don't even know how they went about selecting people. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Scooby knocked somebody out. Or I know he definitely dropped.
Yeah, he dropped the guy pretty nasty. I mean, that would have been a fight. They probably would have stopped it. No, ain't no problem. He would have been done.
They said that Scooby probably could have done worse to him, but Scooby was actually nice with the guy.
He pulled back.
Yeah, my boy Keith Cologne's dad was with me yesterday, and he told me that Scooby could have really hurt that guy, but he didn't.
Yeah, man, that's true though. I mean, I saw it, and you could tell when a guy pulled back. And after when you knock somebody down like that bad, there's never a winner in sparring. But you know, it's no need to like try to destroy this man's career.
Nah.
Any worse. It's sparring. Y'all not getting paid for it. No way. You just trying to fight for a spot.
Exactly. That's the thing.
They
weren't getting paid.
Iron supposed to be sharpening iron in that process.
And that's why I wasn't a fan of it. There was one highlight. I don't know if you guys saw it with the guy Marquise Taylor. What's his name? Marquise Taylor, I think it was.
Taylor, yeah.
He got knocked out and he got hit behind the head twice.
Yeah, he got hit behind the head twice, I think. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to see what your opinion on was that. I didn't like it when I first heard about it.
But see, this is why I say I think I don't know, so I'm not trying to like be out here just making assumptions because they don't really have any type of weight. Just my own opinion, but I just think Turkey might have guys that bring ideas to him and they just sell it to him. You know, Turkey, he hasn't necessarily had to like box himself, so he might not know all the ins and outs to certain things. Probably just got guys he trusts and they be like, hey, this is a good idea. You should do something like this. And of course, he got the funds to do so. So, you know, guys always trying to whisper in his ear to make something because that probably wasn't even his idea. I think a lot of stuff really isn't his idea. He kind of just, if he likes the idea, he'll go with it. You know what I mean? He kind of just bring stuff to him.
Yeah, well, I guess he was with it because he was sitting there front row. So
they brought sponsors.
You know what I mean? I think he just like to see a fight. It could be probably in the middle of the street. I think he'll watch it just to be real.
Yeah.
He likes to see people scrap.
He said he'll be there.
Yeah, he just wants to scrap it.
Look, he said.
Hey man, there you go. hey, Turkey, put that bag in your face, bro. You be like, hey man, I'll fight in a phone booth, bro. You know what I mean? They don't care, bro. He dropping big bags.
I don't know. I just don't. When you call it a sparring session and somebody like that, the incident that happened with that fighter that got knocked out and hit behind the head. I mean, you could face a lawsuit. I don't know what they did. If they have to sign something, or whatever. That's not good, you know. And fighters like you had professionals on there. Like I think Marcus Brown was in there.
Yeah, he was there.
Big Baby, I think, was there. You know, then you know, obviously Scooby was there. There was a lot of Pistol Pete was in there too. You know, but.
Another thing too with that, I don't know how they went about like look with stuff like that. I feel like you got to be careful because you got to like check gloves and stuff. Like these are sparring gloves. I don't know if they even was checking that. You know, you got some guys who come in the gym with gloves like they've been using for years. Your knuckle coming straight through it, and plus people don't talk about this for real. But you got guys, man, who really can get on some juice just for like a short time and psychological. You no drug testing for this. Yeah, I could have known about this 2 months, and I'm like, oh man, I'm finna get pumped up for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's checking stuff.
That's an excellent point. I'm glad you brought that up. That's an excellent point. I thought maybe with the gloves because it was sponsored by Box Raw, so they probably I'm assuming they use their equipment only.
They did, and I was looking at some guys had.
Okay.
Some guys had on Rivals. They brought their gloves they used when they had the gym.
So they came in with their
that's why if everybody was like uniform, you had a blue corner and a red corner wearing the same stuff. All right, you know what I'm saying? But this was stuff people was bringing their own stuff in there. You can look at their gear, and it's mixed match. That's what people look like in the gym. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that. You gotta be careful, man, because you got some guys out here. They don't care about playing fair. They just like, I just need to look good. They don't care about your health and
I need
nothing
to
like
look
that.
good. Yeah.
Some fighters they don't care. They don't have no type of morality about themselves. I'm just being real, man. Some guys don't care.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. I see you guys. My man Ofacio Falcone, he's a fighter too. When I asked him about it, he's like, "Hell no, I ain't doing that shit. I got a fight coming up in 2 weeks." So yeah, but shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. I know we we're cooking here. We don't really say what's up to chat, but I saw everybody. Salute to everybody in the chat.
We do acknowledge y'all. You know what I'm saying? We know y'all there. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying?
But I appreciate you, Monty Powell, for telling us that, because that's true. Like you don't know if they're on PEDs, the gloves. You know if the gloves are mess stacked. You said that's crazy, bro.
I'm telling you, look, man. It's like when a lot of times when people see guys in the ring fighting, but there's so many ways people can go about getting over. And like I said, it's a lot of guys who do not care if they got to cheat to get to where they're going. Like, there's no sense of morality. They don't care about your health, none of that. They like, I just got to get to where I'm going. But guys like that are dangerous, man, because they'll do whatever it takes in a bad way. You know what I mean? And then you could be doing everything the right way, moving the right way, and you run into somebody like this, and now they didn't derail what you had going on. You got an injury, an eye, and man, I'm telling you, man, it take one shot to your eye, you can get a detached retina now. What? You know what I mean? You didn't even get paid for this, but this guy was dirty. So you got to be careful, even who you sparring with, man. I didn't understand when I was coming up why like some of the more high-level guys don't just spar like that, just to spar like that. But then I started realizing, it's a lot of stuff that goes into that. You know what I mean? As I started just moving along in my career myself, some guys, man, are just honorable, and they don't care about it either. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Yeah, for sure.
You mess around, get in there and start sparring, and look across the ring and don't realize it. You sparring Diamond Anderson. He coming out there. You seen what he did to Hector in Creed 3.
Yeah.
Jose Benavidez, you know what I'm saying?
You got guys that are sparring too, though. I'm serious.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you got a damn diamond. He gonna show up.
Yeah. But see, that's why I said, like, I started learning in my career why some guys, they'll be like, I got certain guys I spar with, and I really don't go outside that bubble. I didn't understand at first, but then you start, because you got to protect yourself too. Like, you your own brand, you your own business. So you got to make sure, like, okay, I'm moving in a way that's going to be safe for me as well, because I don't know what these other guys got going on. They could be trying to get something off my name, just off some gym cred. It's never going to be a sparring world champion. But some guys, they get that twisted. You know what I mean? But that's why I say you just got to be, that's where it comes back to that support in your team. Like, you got to make sure you got the right people that care about you more than just you being a fighter. Care about you being a human being, because it's a long life after boxing. You feel me? Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate that, man. This was good.
I really do appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, what I said in your intro, man, is like when you bounce back, you know what I'm saying? When you show back up, it's like we just reconnecting. This damn continuous conversation, man.
Yeah. And then when I start rocking and rolling again, man, we get tapped back in, because I'm just, like I said, I'm working, and I know God, He gonna lead me in the right direction. So I'm gonna just keep doing my part.
Yeah, and we definitely, you know what I'm saying, when you got fights coming up, we're gonna bring you back on the Beltway. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have to bring you over to the B side. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring you back over the Beltway.
Hey man, I can be on the A side, B side, Z side. As long as I get up in there, bro, I'm gonna get it done. It don't matter, bro.
Yo, KG, when you get a chance, just highlight Ofacio's comment. He agrees. He said the same thing. I don't know if you see. Do you see it? Ofacio comment.
What, sparring?
Yeah, he said he was saying it. Basically, he was saying it. He said, "Yep."
Yeah. So, exactly. You know what I'm saying? For real, right there. You know what I'm saying?
And he said he's speaking facts, but
I'm speaking pure defects. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Money, man, we're gonna let you go, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
Because I keep seeing you look over. You know what I'm saying? Wife is like, hey, she's like, hey, we done read the script. I done told you everything to say. What you still here for? Let's get to it. You got the goat shirt on, man. Let's get outside. Let's get come spend some time with me real quick.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
man, so I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go ahead and get it while it's hot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, man, this has been a good one, man. Like I said, well, I appreciate you, man.
Really I appreciate both y'all, man, for just, showing me love, giving me the platform just to share some of my story. And blessing to both of y'all. Y'all got my support 100%.
Man,
Wow,
you got
absolutely.
ours,
Yeah, I
man.
appreciate that, man. I love to have you on my show as well, in the future too, So, after you finish with the Beltway, you come up to the Bronx and then we talk.
Hey, man, hey, I got you. And nice meeting you too, Thomas, for real. Thank you, bro. You good
All
people.
right. Same here, bro.
Oh, yeah, always.
Man.
All
So
right,
next
man.
time, bro. Next time.
Yes, sir. Blessings to y'all.
Peace. Damn, Thomas. Was
That was
was
dope.
that another good one?
That was dope, man. That was good, man. See, I like this. I like what we're doing. Everybody's got something to say, different stories. It's educational. I mean, he was great. I love this one. I loved it. And let me tell you something. Sometimes the best ones are the ones you don't really know as much, because now you get to ask them questions. It's like a first date. You want to know, more about that. I didn't know much about him. I did some research and stuff, and I found some things, and this is why I asked him. And I love this mindset. I mean, he's very positive too. I mean, this is a guy that hasn't fought, I think, in almost like a year and a half or something like that. Yeah. He's got the Team Combat League. That's why, I went and I looked at that, and, he's got a positive mindset. He works hard. You could tell. Like, he had he's had the marks to show it.
Yeah, man. He got the receipts, man.
Great. This is great. Like, every week is going to be something different, and there's going to be special things each week. And this week was really good. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, like I said, the two times before this previously that I've had, the privilege of, interviewing Money, it's been a good time, and then I seen him in person, I've watched him warm up with his trainers, I've chopped it up with him, like me, watching him to knowing who he is now, and like I said, the kid works, man. So everybody that was listening and watching, I hope you were entertained, and I hope you grabbed something that was beneficial for you, or something that you can pass on to somebody, because this is a kid that, like I said, has the dog in him, has the grit to keep fighting, has the willingness to take the advice and, consideration from somebody, take into consideration what somebody else is, trying to pour into him to further his career in boxing, because he deserves to be seen. I say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great young man. I like I said, the positivity, his spiritual positivity that he had as well. Like, I thought that was pretty dope. And, I thought that was inspiring as well. I mean, and it was a great conversation. I mean, he knows what's going on in the areas too. He knew what was going on up here. I just thought it was great overall, man. It was a great conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed it. This is one of the better ones. I know we say this every week, but I think but I'm serious. But every week there's something different about each one. Like this week, there's nobody was calling anybody the F word, and which was hilarious, right? And it was entertaining, hilarious. But last week he really felt that I meant it. And look, we didn't want to go into like any of the current fights, and he told you that somebody was trash, and that guy got
prophesized it. Yeah.
So every week has been great, man, and I can't wait for the next one. I think I love this show. This we got to you got to trademark this joint, man. You got So we got a few guys lined up. You already got a guy lined up next week.
Yeah, man. So hey, man. This is Tales from the B-side, and it's been brought to you by Usual Suspect 6 and Sports Talk Network, man. I am KG, and he is Thomas from the Bronx, until next week, man. We'll see y'all on episode 11, So, man, tell a friend and tell a friend. Come back, man. Come back, and I'm trying to tell you. This was a good one, man. So, until next time, man. Peace.
It's unusual suspect.
In Concord, Mitchell, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen,
Come and try it soon. Only at Pizza Hut, and only for a limited time.
Money, Powell, the boy, hand underneath, dancing around.